Today is the day I drive my first ZR2. I am very excited. I've driven plenty of trail bosses, and this one is actually kind of unique because it has a 6.2 liter V8, just like this ZR2 does, which comes standard with that engine. But the difference between these trucks is this one has a 33-inch tire and this one has a 32-inch tire. Now, is there going to be any fuel economy difference between these trucks? I can't wait to really get the ZR2 out on the road to really feel the difference in the suspension, because they do have different suspensions as well. They have the same ride height, I believe, but apart from that, the tires is probably going to be the biggest difference. But special shout out to Jerry Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City. If you are in the market, they actually have like 3 or 4 of these bad boys here, so you definitely should call them and see if they have one available for you. Let's get into the video. I think we're gonna drive the Trail Boss first, because if someone comes in and buys this truck, I have 2 more to go, so we're good there. But I really want to get a feel for the Trail Boss with the Rancho shocks, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and set up, let's get down the road, let's reset the fuel mileage, and let's get into it. I cannot wait to drive the ZR2. These tires are definitely loud compared to what I've seen in the past. Like, I've had Nitto Ridge Grappler tires that weren't this loud, but overall, you can tell you're sitting higher in this truck. Like, you can clearly tell. And I can't wait to see the fuel economy with the 6.2. Like, I don't think I've ever done one with the Trail Boss. I think this is my first time ever doing it. And right now we've only driven 2 miles and we got 12.8 miles to the gallon. If I got 16, 17 with this truck, I would think I'm getting great gas miles personally. But on this kind of drive that I'm doing today, I could probably get closer to 18, 19. And yeah, I would be happy with that too. But again, I'm going at a consistent speed for the most part of this trip, unless traffic picks up, but I don't think that's gonna happen right now because it's still pretty early in the day. At 65 miles an hour, this 10 speed does hum along around 1500 RPMs, give or take. And I feel like this 6.2 has just so much power right about in this area here. Now, obviously, I think the power doesn't come on to like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs, but still, it's just, I can feel it. It's like, it feels like a turbo, like it's like spooling. That's what it feels like to me. But I know there's no turbo, it just feels like it. And yeah, I think that if I were to get this truck, I would probably opt to have the 6.2, but I'm a diesel fanboy, so that's probably what I would really go for. But this gives you the most power. But keep in mind, this is a nearly $4,000 option, so that might sway some buyers away. So here it is. This is a 6.2 liter V8 under the hood of this Trail Boss. It's very rare that you see this set up here, but it's good for 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed transmission, 323 rear gear. So this is still kind of set up for fuel economy. I'm kind of surprised they didn't run with the 342s on this truck because it is off-road oriented. But hey, they have the reasons, and I'm pretty sure fuel economy was probably a deciding factor with that. Alrighty, so exit 297. We're at 16.9 MPGs, not too bad. You know, you have to expect these knobbier tires to affect fuel economy a little bit. You know, it can't be easy street all the time, right? But yeah, we're gonna stop at the light here. I've noticed too, the heated steering wheel has been coming on these trucks all day today. I guess because, let's see how many degrees it is outside. Well, it's showing 44, so I mean, that's not too cold outside. But yeah, I guess it comes on automatically. But yeah, overall, this interior, guys, man, doesn't get old. When GM redid this interior, they really did put themselves in a different bracket. A lot of good features. Love the gauge cluster. And this is a 13.4 inch display too. Now the auto stop start has not come on, and the truck is at operating temperature. So, oh yeah, one last thing too, I did try the paddle shifters that this truck has. There's a lot of delay, so I don't really care to use that system, but you can shift it, which is good if you are towing. That's what I would probably use that for. I'm willing to bet that this truck will accelerate a little bit better compared to the ZR2, only because the ZR2 is a little bit heavier, which you'll see here in a second. But I'm gonna show you guys really quickly some of the acceleration. I'm gonna just set it in cruise control at 60, and then I'll blast off from there to about 80. All right. Now here's some of the numbers on the door here. This truck does have a 7,100 pound GVWR. Curb weight is around 5,367 pounds with a total payload of 1,733 pounds. So this truck has a lot of payload capacity. And here's some of the tire specs for you here. All right, here we go. Wow. We're almost back. Probably got like another mile or two to go. But we're at 16.7, 17.4 MPG. I believe the 5.3 got in the 18 or 19 range. I can't remember, but I will put the video at the end. It'll be on the exact same route. And that was also a Trail Boss too, so you can kind of use that as a good comparison. I mean, it is 39 degrees outside. It's actually dropping. As I get back closer to the dealership, the temperature is a lot lower out here for some reason, because it was at like 44, I think, just 10 minutes from here. So we just pulled back into the dealership, and here are the numbers so far. So 17.6, but we're not going to stop here. We'll pretty much stop on the other side. But overall, I think this is a great contender. You know, you have the Ram, what do they call their Rebel? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Ram Rebel. You have the Ford Trimmer. You have the Toyota TRD Pro with the Tundra. And then the Nissan Pro 4X. And I think this one is a really great contender. So here's where we're going to stop at. 17.6, 17.8 miles driven. And we're just parked next to this Silverado here. So let's go ahead and jump into the ZR2. I'm super excited. Gearing is pretty much the same in these trucks, so you're not going to see too much of a difference between the RPMs. These tires are so much better than the ones on the Trail Boss. It's not even close. It's not even close. I'm serious. Insane. There's not as much road noise, and it's just a meatier tire. I went up to like a 35 compared to like a 34, I believe it was originally, and I actually lost a lot of road noise too. So when you do go up in height, the tire does seem to get a little bit quieter, and this is a more aggressive tire. This is a mud terrain compared to the all-terrain tire on the Trail Boss. So this thing is winning me over little by little. But don't get excited about the fuel economy, because that's where this really falls short. 14.9, and that's not too bad because we're in stop and go traffic both sides. So when I go back the opposite direction, we should get a little bit better speed and more consistency. But yeah, the traffic is really starting to pick up right now, and I mean, I'm not upset with this. This 6.2 in this truck is great. The only thing I would like to see is maybe a supercharger option for this engine. They could take off the active fuel management crap, give it a supercharger, and make this thing just fly, because you're not gonna get great gas miles, so who cares? And listen, if they can keep the price under 90 grand, oh, I'd pick this over the TRX in a heartbeat. But I don't think they can do that. Alrighty, so who's ready for these horsepower and torque numbers under the hood of the ZR2? Don't get too excited. It's the exact same as the Trail Boss. 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed transmission and 323 gears. I'm very surprised about the gearing out back. I would have thought, because this being a more off-road oriented truck, they would have went with the 342 or 373. But hey, this truck gets terrible gas miles as it is, so they figured we're just gonna go with the 323. So I don't blame them. So traffic is a lot more stop and go right now. Just, you know, really 10 more minutes later, and it's really starting to pick up. And the fuel economy is at 15 MPG at 7.6 miles. So we're gonna go a little bit longer on this trip, unfortunately. So it's not gonna get as good gas miles. I did stop once with the Trail Boss, but this truck is definitely hitting more traffic at this point. And I was just thinking, if my wife did not mind driving a truck, I would trade the Wagoneer in on this one. Like, this thing is super nice. Like, seriously, I really do like this truck. a lot. Like the interior is done well, and the seats, like seriously guys, these seats are the truth. And this one already has a sunroof too. My wife loves a sunroof. I already drove her Wagoneer out today, so I could just pick this up and take it home today. I'm just kidding. I do like this color too, but my wife does not want to drive any more pickups for the foreseeable future, because when we lived full time in our RV, she was like, I am not driving a truck if I don't have to. So that kills that deal. So we're at the midpoint, and as I said, fuel economy has taken a small hit. It's not too bad, but I wasn't expecting this truck to even match the Trail Boss, because you do have a little bit more aggressive tire. This truck is heavier, so you just have a little bit more against it already out of the gate. But overall, this is the best one so far. The drive is so much greater, and yeah, I think that for the most part it's just a better truck overall. And you can make the Trail Boss almost the same price as this truck when you start adding a bunch of options to it. So I'm telling you, if you are looking to order a truck or anything like that, I would definitely give this another look, unless you're looking to tow. This truck is not built for towing, and like I said, the convex is gone, so that kind of gives you an indicator they didn't build this for towing. So here are the numbers for this ZR2, 7,100 pound GVWR, and then here are the tow numbers here. So this has a 1,447 pound max payload, and this truck just weighs more because of the features on it too. You have a little bit more bolstering on the seats, a little bit more meatier tire, more aggressive suspension, all that good stuff. All right, here we go. We're almost back, and we're at 15.8, so we're not up there with that Trail Boss, but we're not too far off. So like I said, I'll check back in a little bit. I want to talk about the steering for a second though. The steering feel on this truck does feel a little different from the Trail Boss. Sometimes these trucks do feel a little clumsy, and I didn't feel that in neither one of these. It could be tire pressure, so that's something you have to keep in mind. And for the first time on this trip, the auto stop start just came on, although it didn't really matter because I'm already going again. But like I said, we'll check back in a second. I'm about to pull back into the dealership and I'll show you guys the fuel economy. And what do you know? 17.7 miles. Not bad. I think it's about the same as the Trail Boss. And here we are. 16 miles per gallon, 17.8 miles driven, 44.1 miles per hour is the average speed that we did. So all in all, I'm actually happy with this because, again, you have a little bit more knobbier tire. It's a little bit taller, and this truck's heavier, so I didn't expect it to get better. And if you want to be more analytical, because of the more stop and go, you can add another half an MPG to this if you want, because that's probably all we lost on this trip. So I still think you can probably get closer to 17 and a half, 18, but I think you're really driving at lower speeds, like around 70 miles an hour. But this is good fuel economy for this type of pickup, guys. So if you're looking at a TRX or something like that, 11 is probably good on that truck, so just keep that in mind. But if you look at the window sticker, the highway MPG on this truck shows about 17, and then for the Trail Boss it's going to be 18. So with a little bit more knobbier tire, a little bit taller, they're expecting you to lose a little bit of fuel economy, and the aerodynamics are probably affected too on this truck too, so just keep that in mind as well. But I'm okay with that. This truck was a lot more comfortable in my opinion compared to the Trail Boss, and the tire size I think helped too, and the tire noise was less compared to these. So that's interesting, because I would have expected it to be about the same because these are so aggressive too. But special shout out to Jerry Seiner. If you are in the market, they have like 3 of these things here. I think they might have 4. They have this blue, they have a black one, I know they have a white one too. So if you do decide to buy, make sure you let them know you saw the video, and I'll see you guys soon.